Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and I still don't have an eye. Yes, if I had $1 for every pirate joke I have heard the last week, I could probably be vacationing on a nice beach. Instead, we are here with something even more exciting. We are with Preeti Chhibber, and we are going to be talking Supernatural's Valentine's Day special coming out of Dynamite on sale February 4th. It's, you know, us big Supernatural fans, and she's an excellent writer. You might know her from some projects, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. She also does some work on the podcast Women of Marvel for the official Marvel account. So check those out. And we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So Lauren, how are you doing? First of all, I know when it comes to Supernatural, you get really excited, as you've got me pretty pumped too. So how you doing?
I do. I love that we've been getting, guests related to Supernatural. It's been phenomenal. And I'm going to try really hard not to talk your ear off about Supernatural.
Well, it makes it so that people don't yell at us, because we have been going through our rewatch, and I think we're on like season 13, but it's been a few months since we've,
the holidays really took their toll.
It was a crazy few months. So Preeti, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. How are you doing today?
I'm so excited. I said this earlier, but I'm so excited to always talk about Supernatural. It is like ever present, ever going. Always there, never ended.
Yes, exactly. You just rewatch it and pretend it never
always
ended.
Really kind of funny how many things you watch, whether it's movie or TV, and you're like, they were in Supernatural, and it's just like, wait, because Lauren would do that, and I was like, okay, but now ever since I've seen the show, I'm sitting there like, oh my god, it's this person from, and it really is everywhere. I mean, it was a show that went 15 seasons. It has one of the most impressive, largest fandoms out there.
It's still growing.
Yeah.
5 years after its finale, it's still growing.
It's still going also.
We're going to go ahead and make conspiracy theories about fake endings. I think we should be bringing Supernatural back, but that's just me personally. So we love to ask geek origin stories. Everybody's kind of got one to get into the comic book world. So we're going to ask, first of all, what was your introduction into the world of just nerddom?
I think it was, there are a few different steps. I feel like my mom was a huge Archie comics fan.
Oh, that's awesome.
Indian people love Archie comics. There's a whole thing about it. But so Archie comics were always around. Whenever we went to the grocery store, she's like, I'll just buy one. So we have hundreds of them.
Wow, that's really cool.
So fun.
It's so fun. I've always loved Archie. And then I have an older brother who was into kind of traditional Cape comics. So I was reading those when I was very little, not understanding really what they were.
Punch. Yeah.
I was I think I read The Death of Superman when I was very little, and I was like, what's happening? But it's so nice.
Great colors, a lot of this big bad guy fighting,
issue is
in his underwear, and
that issue is very pretty. I actually read that this summer right before the movie came out, and it's not as dark as I feel like it should be.
It really
it's a beautiful artwork, all of it.
Even the scene of Superman, actually dying kind of is, weirdly enough, very beautiful, as to where other comics it's this big, sad, depressing moment, but it's kind of wow, no,
Gotham versus Metropolis.
That's Superman. Look at this angel. It's crazy.
So that's sort of, I think, where it all started. And then being around for the heyday of the games, the X-Men games, the Spider-Man cartoons, X-Men Evolution, just being around for the sort of growth of nerddom into the mainstream that happened when I was at a very formative age, I think really benefited it, where I was I can just do this all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of grew up, 90s and early 2000s was really that explosion of, we had X-Men, we had Spider-Man, we had Batman, the animated series. And then it grew into, the X-Men movies. And then we started to get Batman again on the big screen. And we really did grow up in this awesome time, and now we're kind of the ones in charge, I feel like. And it shows in a lot of ways, but it's also yes, I love that, and I'm never going to grow up. I'm still going to watch cartoons. I'm still going to love this stuff and show everybody and just talk about it all the time. So you're right. I mean, did you have a favorite hero or cartoon, or what was your go-to as a kid?
It was X-Men Evolution, I think, was a big one. And of course, Spider-Man. Spider-Man was always such a favorite, and he continues to be such a favorite for me because he's such a disaster. And I think we can all relate to that.
Poor guy too. Everybody else in Marvel's, I'm rich and a hero.
Nope.
And Peter's I'm broke, but I'm also
I gotta deliver pizzas.
I'm the most powerful hero, but I'm also poor and I'm trying to get with my girl and poor dude, man. But you're right. He is such a disaster.
So how did you go from falling in love with Spider-Man to getting to write comic books with Spider-Man in them and all these other amazing stories that you've got going?
I used to live in New York. I worked in publishing for a very long time. And as a side hustle, freelance on the side, writing for like blogs like Book Riot or Sci-Fi Wire, I should say. And at the time, I was going a lot of stuff. I was covering a lot of stuff. And I wrote for a site called O Panels, which was Book Riot's comics offshoot. And when I was meeting people, I was just really loud. I was like, I want to write Peter Parker. Somebody let me write Peter Parker. For the love of God, let me write Peter Parker. And I just said it to everybody. I was like, this is never going to happen, but I'm just going to keep saying it. And in 2018, a friend of mine, Brandon Snyder, who also does sort of like tie-in and comic stuff, sent me an email. And he's like, Marvel Press is going to be reaching out. And I assumed he meant like reporter, like they want to do an interview. But it was Disney's Marvel Press, and they needed someone to write a tie-in for the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, like a kid's middle grade tie-in. And they're like, we need it in 6 weeks. Can you do it? And I was like, oh,
of course.
I'm just going to say
so
yes.
Cool.
We'll
yeah, that's one of those things that you have to say yes.
And yes, and you figure it out later.
Figure it out.
Like,
yeah,
sure.
And it'll fall into place. That's so cool. Actually, my 8-year-old just watched all of the movies except for No Way Home, so that I should get that comic and have him because last one he read or watched Far From Home. So we're just doing Spidey right now because he's younger. But yeah, that would be really cool to tie into. Yeah,
that's incredible. So that was like the launching point. That's huge, especially as a tie into the move. Like, this is a huge deal. This is Spider-Man's kind of
the largest franchise in the world.
Spider-Man's coming back, kind of into the MCU. There's that weird, you got him on weekends deal, but like this is a big deal.
Because it's Sony. I'm like, you got him on weekends.
Gotcha.
Sony,
every other holiday kind of deal. That's awesome. So you were able to write this, and was that kind of just the launching point of, hey, I love this?
It was like I did that. I think I literally wrote it in like the month of November 2018. I just like
that's also a busy time of year too. Like, dang.
I was like, well, I gotta do it. Wrote it, and my editor at the time at Disney, after I turned the book in, was like, we have this idea for this like Spider-Man trilogy. It would be original prose. Like, would you be interested? And I was like, obviously.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me think about it for 2 minutes.
Like trying to not seem too eager.
Like,
I mean, if I have time, yeah.
They're like, no, I'm not a cool person. Yes, I am excited, like 100%. And since it got out kind of that I could write these characters in voice, like do it fast, other publishers started reaching out. So Scholastic reached out for this like other middle grade Avengers Assembly series we ended up doing, which is like,
I know exactly what that series
is.
Yes, my son loves that.
They're really fun. They're like Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, and Doreen Green doing after school Avengers programs. And it's like me and James Lancet, a mix of like prose and comics, and they're really fun. And then it kind of just went from there, where I was like, I am available.
Hey guys,
I'm available to do this.
Yes. And you're like, well, we haven't even pitched it yet. You're like, oh, right. Sorry, I misheard.
So to jump over to the comic we're here to talk about today, did Dynamite approach you about, hey, we want to do a Supernatural Valentines special, or was this your idea?
So this was, I know Greg very well, Greg Pak very well.
Okay.
And when it announced that he was going to be writing Supernatural, I texted him. I'm like, Greg, I'm like the biggest Supernatural fan ever.
Oh,
do you need anything? And I started consulting on the scripts. So I read the scripts and kind of force Supernatural lore where I'm like, I don't think Dean would say that.
Oh, that's awesome. So you get to because you know the character so well. Because I know I read an interview with him where he had not been a fan of the show when they approached him to write it. So, I mean, that makes sense that you have other people consulting on it. So I love that. Like
really
the fan
fun.
Getting to be like, no, don't do that.
No,
yes,
hold on.
This.
And like, it's all suggestions. Like, I'm not like,
I'm
just like, here are my thoughts. And, Greg's got a great handle. Like my notes are not like excessive or anything. Because he knows the characters, he knows the world. It's more like little things here and there
that you have to watch 15 seasons
exactly.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have time for 15 seasons. The man is killing it on comic and
on multiple
fronts. All TV shows, like everything. Yeah.
there was like something where I don't want to say it because I can't remember what issue it's in. Something happens where he has Dean doing something, and my note is like, in season 2 episode blah, 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 Dean does this thing. So just so you know, this is the thing that happened.
Has he watched like those specific episodes from those notes, or is it just like, hey, just so you know?
Well, I'll screen cap it, and I would like go in and like screenshot and put it in my comments.
That is
but I know he did a lot of watching prior to writing, and like,
so he got a feel for it, because it does feel like Dean and Sam early seasons.
Yeah,
and you kind of forget too at times, because by the time you're done with season 15, they're vastly different characters. Everything, and going into that. So I guess before we really dive in, what's your Supernatural origin story? Because, we know mine. Lauren bullied me and held me at gunpoint basically before I finally watched. So were you there from the start, or when did you hop on the train?
My Supernatural origin story is that I was coming of age in the early 2000s, and so I watched every WB show.
Listen,
Dawson's Creek.
I was huge Dawson's Creek. They were my age.
Yeah.
I graduated in 01. So
like all of it. So when the show started, that I was like, that's Dean from Gilmore Girls, and he was Eric, Dawson's Creek, and Eric Brady from The Days of Our Lives and Dawson's Creek. Like, I am sold. I'm gonna watch 100%. So
so you watched in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
That's rare. I actually didn't get into it until 2016 because I just kept seeing it everywhere, and it was on Netflix, and I was pregnant and miserable. I'm like, well, what can entertain me for a while? I feel like crap, and who knew it would change my life?
Yeah, that moment. There really wasn't as much.
Seasons, Season 12 was the first one I watched live, and it's funny because I own a couple random episodes on Prime because I was trying to catch up to the live issues. But okay, so you are an OG fan. That's really cool. So you said you reached out to Greg and you were like, hey, I'm a Supernatural fan. So how did that progress into the spinoff of this Valentine's special?
So then he sent me a note that was like, they want to do a Valentine's special. I'm going to recommend you. And I was like, God, yes, please.
That's
yes.
amazing.
Dreams right there. That is,
I know.
I'm loving everything, because this is you're exactly how I am. I'm loud. I'm just like, hey, can I do this?
Let me do this.
Yes. Cause that's my I'm loving this.
You're like, I'm going to manifest this. It's going to happen.
You got to speak it out there into the world. Right. And it's going to happen.
It's the best vision board ever.
And so they knew they wanted to do Valentine, but that was kind of the extent of it. It was Valentine's set sort of around the same time.
Okay.
That Greg's books are
set. Season 1, season 2.
Yeah. Okay. Season 1, season 2, it's not anything beyond that. And so then I sent them a pitch to what I thought the story could be, and they were down with it. And then that's sort of what happened.
Very cool. So what can you tell us without spoiling anything? Because obviously it hasn't come out yet. Matt and I have not read it yet. So what can you tell us as far as pitching it to us and what we can, and how many, is it just going to be a one-off?
It's just the one issue. Obviously I would come back if they had me.
Now.
We need an Easter special, maybe.
I'm let me do all the holiday specials.
They really should have done more Christmas. One Christmas episode in 15 seasons. There's so much Christmas lore.
And it's a great Christmas episode.
It is
phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
Good.
Yes.
Yes.
With they're fighting the gods, and oh man.
Even just the caroling was hilarious when they busted into the drunk Santa's house and they just started singing Silent Night. It was genius. Yeah, the whole episode was great. But okay, so sorry, go ahead.
No, I told you I could talk about Supernatural forever. So I'm like, what's the non-spoilery version of this? So the two of them show up, gasp, small town America. And there is, I'm trying to remember
Vancouver.
what the public summary, what the summary is for it that they posted
on your website.
Yeah,
Sam and Dean Winchester know a thing or two about love and loss. If anyone can understand the kind of heartache that would cause a person to turn to demonic forces in order to bring someone back from the dead, it's the brothers Winchester in small town America, of course.
That looks like Vancouver.
That looks like
coincidentally,
Vancouver.
it's all Canada.
It's all Canada. The French Mistake is one of my favorite episodes.
Yes. Oh
yes.
my gosh.
So basically, they're in this small town, and what I wanted to do was really, because we're with Sam, sort of peak grief.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, the show deals a lot with grief, and the show deals a lot with loss, but over 15 seasons, you get so distant from who Sam
really
used to be.
Yeah.
Right. When he's in the throes of the loss of Jess. And so I wanted to go back to that a little bit because it didn't feel romance and Supernatural is always a very interesting
it really thing.
It always takes a side.
Always it always
nobody ever gets to truly ever be happy at all, especially when there's love involved now.
So I was like, let me approach romance through grief and introduce this Hindu goddess character who is sort of the partner to the god of love. And the loss in her mythology, she goes through a loss where she loses her other half. And the violence of grief and that aspect is what I really wanted to bring to the story and what Dynamite let me do, which is really exciting.
I was going to say, so the heart on the cover of the book, it gives a lot of, like that kind of artwork style and Hindu style. So I was going to ask about that. So it's very deliberate. And I also enjoy that because it's the best thing about Supernatural is all of the lore from around the world. I think it does a really good job of bringing
and they do their own twist.
The world. Yeah, exactly. And so I know you could have essentially played anywhere. I mean, in Greg's story, they went to Vegas. So was small town just, hey, this is going to fit the theme of the show best? Or did you originally think about putting them in some other setting besides small town America where we usually see?
No, I actually was like, I'm going to put them in West Virginia because I grew up in West Virginia.
Oh, where?
I grew up in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
I know exactly. First of all, Mothman.
Yes. I know, home of the Mothman.
Second of all, I've spent a lot of time in Wheeling, West Virginia.
Okay.
So I know exactly what West Virginia is like. Yes.
So I was like, I'm going to put them in West Virginia. I'm going to put them in Huntington because I was like, I can't put them in Point because the Mothman lore is just like too.
Then you'd have to play.
It would have to point to it in some way. So Huntington, West Virginia is where they are.
That's like the southern, like mountain-ish kind of area for anybody who doesn't know geography. Yes, that's I love a lot of that. So that's going to probably bring out with the artwork a lot of incredible scenery as well. Like how was it talking with, your partner in crime there, working through the art? What was that kind of process like for you guys?
I just saw interiors actually, which I'm really excited about from Pasquale Coilano, and they're so cool. And I'm like, I can't tell you anything, but they're so cool.
They're awesome.
Well, and I'm one of those, I don't even like to watch the trailer. So I really want to know as little as possible. I love going into this stuff blind. So,
I can't hear you on blind, but that's again, it's
it wasn't
awesome.
a jab at you. I promise.
No, I know. That's all I could think of. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
No, you're good. Although I did see on one of the covers, you see the first blade. So that was just, I'm assuming, just a nod to just the show in general.
Yeah, I think that's just sort of like a Supernatural.
Right.
This is a
very well-known weapon. Because I was wondering at first if it was in season 9.
I know. I saw that also, and I was like, hold on.
You're immediately texting, wait a second. Do you understand
I'm not writing season 9, boys.
Guys, this is season 1 and 2. They barely know demons, and demons are still, Yellow Eyes is out there running, demons are still a massive threat.
Yeah, it's like watching Star Wars. You have to remind yourself where you are because it's
that is kind of funny. So how much going back? So 15 seasons, of course, was it easy for you to slip back into that season 1, 2 mindset, or did it take a bit of an adjustment? Because again, starting season 1 and 2, they're very,
it depends on where you are in your rewatch.
But the further you go, it's demons are just nobodies at that point. They're putties from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they fight God, ultimately. So
I know I do sometimes I can't remember always what happened in what season, so I'll have to go back and double check that because I also am in season 13 my rewatch now. Funnily enough,
perfect timing. Then I guess you're gonna come back and we'll have to straight up talk season 13.
I know.
50 then. Perfect.
Mint Condition is one of my favorite. No, that's season 14. I've started preparing up to season 14, but yeah, sorry.
So season 1 and 2, it's more that I was like, what do they know? What do they not know? It's trying to remember that stuff. But in terms of who they are as characters, that I feel like I know them so well that I'm like, early Sam and Dean are like this. Mid, right? Yeah, mid Sam and Dean are like this. Late stage Sam and Dean are like this. And so there's I have a strong sense of what they are like in 5 season segments, essentially.
Oh, I like that. Because it is kind of big chapters of, and that's kind of how the arcs too, because I know with Kripke, he was the first 5 seasons and it kind of moves from there. So Lauren, I feel like I cut you off. I apologize. What was your question that you were going to have?
No, I was just going to mention, when somebody new gets into it, I always prep them, keep in mind season 1 started in 2005. Dean does say a couple things that he would never say in season 15.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
You're it's the most, it's again, 15 seasons. I joke where I'm I love this show. Sometimes I hate this show, but the hatred comes from like when I'm like, I know how good you can be when you're good.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, why are you yelling at Jack like that? Yeah.
So, and like you said, we were like, there are things that happen in those early seasons that you should just see what was on TV in 2005 and the way people spoke in 2005.
Oh my God. If you watch, I mean, we were talking about, you know, Lauren's daughter's 22, and we were kind of talking about, you know, comedies, for example, from the like American Pie and things like that.
My husband and I introduced her to American Pie when she was like 17, and she's like, "This is terrible. They're filming her without her consent. She's
was
a
a
minor.
vastly different world."
Her, and I was like, "These are all fantastic points, Kaylee, that I never thought about."
But again, like,
I watched it for the first time in high school, and then you know, whenever year it came out, I think 99.
Yeah, the first one was like 99. Yeah. But a lot of that doesn't age well. And it is interesting to see as it goes along. Like with the show too, it's like a time capsule of almost how you grew up, because you grew up with the show more so than we did. We watched it, you know, more recent, but you really like grew up with it, which is exciting. So was there anything for you that you really wanted to put into this issue that Dynamite was like, I don't know? Or was it pretty much, hey, this is yours to make yours?
No, they kind of just let me do what I want, which was nice. I didn't push. I mean, I think I was really conscientious about staying true to who I think the characters are. Something about writing comics and even something like Supernatural, which is a little different, but because like you were talking about how like Kripke had his perspective on what the show was, various showrunners and various writers, you can really tell on that show who is writing what episode, who is show running at the time, and its comics are very similar. Like my writing of Spider-Man is going to be different than like Dan Slott writing Spider-Man.
For sure.
Know. So like you have your idea of who these characters are that I talk about. Like when I did the Spider-Man Far From Home time, and the first script, like the first manuscript I wrote, I sent in, and the notes, I had this thing where Peter tells bad jokes. It's like a little diary that Peter and Ned and MJ share. It's like this cute little like, you know, middle grade book. And Peter has these like bad jokes he tells throughout the whole book. And they were like #PBJs, like Peter's bad jokes. And I got notes back from the studio that was like, our Peter wouldn't do this. Like our Peter wouldn't. And I had to take a step back and be like, oh, you're right. Like this is my Peter would
right. The way you're writing, but you have to put yourself like in the studio. Yeah.
So it's like similar where it's like with Sam and Dean, I'm like, I have my perspective on who Sam and Dean is. And I think it's in line with the show. And I think Dynamite was okay with that. But it is something to think about of like maybe other people have a different perspective on who they think Dean is or why they think he is the way he is, etc. And so when you're dealing with like big emotions, sometimes some of that, maybe people will disagree. I don't think so, because I think I was pretty on point.
I mean, I agree. At the same time, like everybody, it is really interesting, especially a show like this that can be interpreted a lot of, like that's the beauty of comic books and art, is it's open for interpretation. There's pretty much a baseline of how we all generally can agree with something, but there is a lot of interpretation out there between Sam and Dean, especially because they're very different people at the same time.
They are, and they were dealing with very different things at that point in the show. You know, Dean has so many dad issues in one way. Sam has dad issues in a different way. Like they deal with romance differently. They deal with loss differently. They deal with their emotions differently. And so it was really fun to sort of get to play them off each other in the book in the way that you see in the show. I was like, oh, I can't believe I get to do this. This is so cool.
It really is. I mean, too, also people tend to forget, like Sam is barely removed from still being a college student at the same time. Dean has been young, running around. He's kind of been at this.
Oh my God, Sam's like my daughter's age. I didn't think about that.
He's like a they're both babies, like in that first season. And Dean has all these like street smarts, but he's like a little baby on the inside.
And his dad's oversized jacket.
Right. And his dad exactly. And then you have Sam, who's like sort of often forced to be the more emotionally mature character between the two of them, because Dean's like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with my feelings. I'm not dealing with any of this. I'm going to go punch something. That's how I'm going to manage this.
But it's because Sam got more of a childhood thanks to Dean, and because he doesn't remember his mom burning on the ceiling.
Exactly.
Like he does.
Yeah. I mean, he was an infant at that time, which is, it is crazy to think about. And I forget even just how baby they are. We were watching,
right until you restart the pilot. You're like, oh my God.
Right.
Because when they end, Dean, I think is like 40 when the show ends or something.
Yeah. And Lauren has the first season on DVD because the music is different. So whenever I fly down to Orlando, like somehow we end up putting it on. And we've, just for that reason. And you're always, every time if we've done it a few times now, I'm like, wow, they really were so young.
Yeah.
And so does this still tie in? Did you tie it still back into the overarching story that Greg's telling, or is this very much so? Oh, that's amazing.
So
She
it's
really
like
is
a standalone issue, similar to the show where you have your overarching plot.
It's my monster of the week.
Okay, that's what
awesome.
I love probably most,
which is
about
big in the early seasons.
Yeah, is their ability to, they have the serious plot line going on, but they break away and you get these standalone episodes. And I cannot wait for this comic, because it's just, those are more often than not my favorites, are the standalone, like, this is goofy, it's ridiculous, you feel good despite like the goofiness of it all, whether it's a teddy bear that very darkly shoots himself, or there's like I know, it's like those moments.
Poor Todd.
Like Fright Parties.
And the Ghost Facers, those are my favorites too, like those episodes. I wish they could have continued. So I know that. Do you have a favorite season of the show?
Oh my God.
That's hard.
Here's the thing with Supernatural. I think every season 1 through 15 has good episodes, has great episodes. And that is a hard thing for a show to say. So I don't know that I can pick a favorite season, but there are just peak episodes in
Do you have
every
a favorite
season.
Episode then?
Oh my God.
You just said French Mistake.
French
That's right.
Mistake
You
is
did
a
say
big
French
one.
Mistake. Yes.
Or even underrated. Like I feel like there's a top 10 that everybody talks about. And then there's ones that like kind of go under the radar. Like for me, one of them is Mint Condition, which I said before. That's the Halloween one in season 14. I love that episode.
One of my favorite episodes.
And I feel like it rarely gets talked about.
Yeah. Mine is the Roadhouse, where Dean, that one's like one of my favorites right there, because it's, oh man, he has to fight one of his friends that he went to.
With Christian Kane.
Yeah, that's one of my.
We love Christian Kane.
And then obviously Scooby Natural is a big one for me.
Scooby Natural is a great one. I'm waiting. My rewatch is happening with a friend who had never seen it, so we're watching it. Like she's watching it,
fun.
With me, and I'm so excited to get to the Scooby Natural one because she has no idea it's coming, and I think she's gonna lose her mind.
That is amazing.
I'm so bad with episode names, but
I am
the
too.
One where Dean is losing his memory and like so
the
good.
Forgetting Dean, maybe that one's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it might be Forgetting Dean.
Yes, and the witch killing bullets, and he holds it up. That one's it's hilarious and gut wrenching.
Oh my God, when he's like looking in the mirror and he like doesn't know. My heart.
That is so, but it's still so much like comedy and levity in it at the same time, and it's when we really got to see Rowena kind of become more of an ally than an enemy.
I love her. Would die for her. And I started out not liking her, and when I told Lauren that, Lauren's like, "What's wrong with you?"
I know. I was like surprised.
And then by the end, I was like, "If anything happens to her,
I will lose it."
Oh my God, what are we doing here? She's my favorite character. Like she's such a badass, and and she's strong, powerful, like, independent. Like, yes, like get after the best. And I love her and Sam's relationship at the same time.
I know, it's so wonderful.
Yeah.
She's very
I like how that
motherly
evolved
to him, and it's so good. Seeing where she started out with Crowley, how they despise each other, and then she's very motherly towards Sam. There's something there with that growth that just really.
I think it also shifted when Crowley died. She wasn't happy.
Well, yeah.
And she's like, well, just because I was terrible to him doesn't mean I wanted him in the ground, even though she had tried to kill him herself. But notice she could never do it herself.
No, it was complicated between them.
Well, parents don't understand, all right? Relationships are
complicated.
What
happens when you conceive a baby during the winter solstice and you don't know who the father is?
And then, I mean, of course, Lazarus Rising. Like, how could I?
Yeah.
How could I? I'm like such a Castiel. Like, Castiel's my favorite.
Oh,
so such a sucker for anything.
I can't wait to see him coming back in The Boys.
I'm a little concerned though that they're gonna explode him again.
I think they're gonna explode him. I think they're gonna explode him.
I 100% feel like,
can Eric Kripke just have him in one show that he doesn't explode him?
That's the selling point. Honestly, I'd be kind of on board too. Like, oh, I'm back. I get to be blown up. Yes. Something about that sounds fun. I don't know. I also love, the fairies episode, like the fairies, and oh my God,
that's a good one.
It's just so ridiculous, but
he's like, empathy, Sam, empathy. Because I loved Soulless Sam. I thought it was great. Because early on, Sam, he is a little whiny. Yeah. And then when he loses his soul, he's just hilarious, even though he's not supposed to be.
There used to be this meme that went around. Like, I don't remember what year it was, but it was like Sam's bitch face.
Oh, yeah.
And it was my favorite because Sam has such a good bitch face with his like tiny pursed lips and his angry face.
I can see it. Is it in the one Tall Tales, maybe? Where he's like, Dean, this is a very serious investigation.
He makes it all the time. It's like in many episodes. It's like a standard, like Sam's pissed off face.
I have to look this. Sam's.
Are you going to Google Sam's?
Of course I am.
It was I don't even know what website it was on. It was so long ago. Like I could not even tell you where it came from. It was probably some like forum.
It was.
I mean, well, yeah, you started watching when it came out, so it could have been MySpace.
Yeah, it could have been
kind of one of them, I guess. Like
almost
not there. They don't have like the actual meme that was going around, but
I know it maybe it was like Television Without Pity. Like I don't. It was so long ago, but it made me laugh so hard. Oh, The Bad Day at Black Rock is another good one.
Yes, that's so good.
Can I tell you? So during the pandemic, I started watching The Sopranos, which I'd never seen.
Oh,
and I didn't realize the relationship between that episode and The Sopranos, where like Paulie and whatchamacallit, when they end up like lost in the woods. Christopher, they end up lost. There is like it's a parallel. The two episodes. They're like lines. I didn't either until I watched the Sopranos one, and I was like, "Hey, this is Supernatural."
That's so funny. My husband and I, we were actually on vacation recently in the snow, and he brought up that episode, and now I want to go back and watch it.
Watch them back to back.
Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, they do a bunch of stuff because they like have an episode that's all Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I love all the nods to different pop culture and everything throughout the show. It's just another level of what
they tie it in so
amazing.
well, and like the music and everything like that. So
yeah,
it is amazing. And not to pivot, but I do know that there is another book talking about pop culture out there coming up in June. You know, House of Harkness. What can you tell us about that and getting to play in like the Marvel world again? That's some more, because this looks like a fun, very good. It's taking place with 16-year-old Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah, it's Magical Girl School AU, which I love.
Yes.
So it was originally a Marvel Unlimited original, and we did 14 or 15 issues. I can't remember. And it went up in 2024, and it's still on. You can read it on Marvel Unlimited if you want. But this is the print bind up edition that they're putting out. And it's just this really sweet story about like Wanda getting to go to a magical boarding school and then like deal with all the hijinks where like Agatha is like the queen bee that she sort of wars with. And it was such a delight to get to write these characters. And Jodi Nishijima like created these wonderful like school uniforms and created the like look of the world, which is really cool. And it comes out, I think it's out in July, I want to say. But yeah, it's just like a really fun take on our favorite Marvel characters.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice seeing, you know, Wanda without all of the trauma for her.
Yeah.
They've been giving this poor girl. July 7th, 2026. Yes, it comes out in July, but I love these kind of things, like these, you know, it's younger adult kind of stuff, because it's a chance for us to be like, hey, you know, they don't always have to be depressed and everything. Like there is
fun to introduce the younger generation.
Yeah.
It's a gateway.
I mean, comic books and graphic novels are the way I got both of my kids into reading. I mean, I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, and my daughter's obsessed, you know, with getting into it. My son's a big comic. So it is really the gateway. So what you do with a lot of these tie-ins and everything,
probably getting a lot of kids into reading.
Yeah.
I hope so. They're fun. And I know like there's nothing better than like kids who are excited about a book.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Oh my gosh. Anytime my kids, they're like, I don't want to read. I don't like reading. I'm like, shut up. Because I was buried in books growing up. I still obviously read more comic books than like actual books, but we even have a book club over at Nerd Initiative that Lauren runs. And so there's always books that they're recommending and doing. And I'm like, dang, I need to pick up and find the time, because grabbing a book on a rainy day or just chilling out there, it is chef's kiss, hands down.
Good book, a good view, and a good beer is just perfection.
Yeah. Oh. Do you have a favorite book that you have read, or like a favorite series of yours? Speaking of reading them.
Oh my God.
There's so many.
There's so many. I'll say one thing I've been into recently, and I'm revisiting as a comfort read, is there's this fantasy, sort of like cozy fantasy series called it's the Emily Wilde series.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, by Heather Fawcett, I think the author's name. And it's about this woman who is like a fairy researcher, and she's like very awkward, like not good at small talk. She just wants to do her research, and her like disaster like colleague who follows her around on adventures. And it's written in like diary style, where she's like trying to create a thesis around like the Fae in, you know, Europe. And it's so wonderful. It's like such a sweet, wonderful love story.
I I'm always into reading. My biggest, probably one of my favorites, like Percy Jackson. That's one.
I love Percy Jackson.
Yes. So my daughter is big into the show, and that's the first show that we're actually watching together. I read the books so long ago, but now I'm like, oh man, I want to go back and reread
them.
I'm gonna
Did you do Heroes also?
Yes. I did, and I love going through them, and I want to read, because what I want to do is I want to read them. My kids read them, and then we talk about it together, kind of deal. Because my son's reading for school, like the Phantom Tollbooth, which we all kind of read in school. But yeah, Percy Jackson, I'm obsessed with, like
so
gods and things. Yeah, so I'm going to be revisiting that.
I'm trying to get Logan and my 8-year-old into it, and I told him we can take turns reading the chapters, because he just wants to read Dogman on repeat. Like that's all he wants to do.
Fair. Yeah,
Dave Filkey, also a good dude.
So man, I grew up Captain Underpants. Like that was my entire.
He really just wants Dogman. I mean, we've watched or read a bunch of the What If Marvel ones. He'll do that with me. He even like contributed to one of the reviews we did for Nerd Initiative. What if Goofy became Spider-Man? I'm like, what would you get, or what would you rate it? He goes 10 out of 10. Everyone should read it. It was just like one sentence. Like, there's my review.
Listen, that's all we want.
Yeah. No, and getting kids too. It's so important.
He's a big Miles Morales fan too. He's read some, but some of the Miles Morales ones I'll like kind of have to edit, because sometimes they get a little dark.
Yes. There's some good Scholastic has some good Miles Morales young comic that they put out that are like good.
They do. I've seen them come through at like the book fair when we get those coming through. I'm like, I always support the book fair, because I remember that growing up. That's a big one. So I'm like, hell yeah, we're spending money at the book fair. I go shopping myself. Like, we're going.
But as long as it's not Dogman, I'm happy reading it with him. But I won't.
Lauren's gonna get written into Dogman as the next P the cat.
Well, sometimes he reads it aloud. It is. I mean, I'm like, Logan, you are an 8-year-old boy. You are the target market. I am not. Like, he thinks it's the funniest thing in the world, and he literally will read the same one over and over and over.
Yep.
Amazing. So as we do kind of begin to wrap up here, I know comic conventions, there's a lot of good ones. We're at the beginning of the year. Are you going to be at any upcoming soon, or what is your schedule kind of like this year, if you have one yet?
I have no idea. I don't have anything planned. I'm like trying to think of my inbox if there's anything in there that I haven't answered. No big plans. I do a local here in Atlanta at Little Shop of Stories. Once a month, they do like, it's so cute. Once a month, we do an author D&D, which is really fun.
That's so cool.
It's me, Jackson Pierce, and Mark Ashiro, and we play D&D for an hour, and it's a good time. So if you're in Atlanta, that's where we'll be once a month, at least that.
That's cool. I love just like getting together, because it's more often like, oh, hey, we get together, a lot of us, it's work or something like that can be hard. So when you have that just third space where you can just hang out and, chill, like I love that so much. It's the best. I know we'll be at, MegaCon Orlando. So if you find yourself there, by all means, we're going to be there. But where can people also find you on social medias? And do you have any, besides the books that we talked about today, any others that are going to be coming out this year?
This year, there is something that is not announced that will be coming out this summer that I'm very excited about and just starting to work on now.
It's the summer I turned Peter.
Yeah. Yes. No, if only. It'll be a good time. And then I have a ton of like original. I have a YA novel that came out in paperback last year called Biometha's Romance Revenge Plot, which is really fun. But you can find all of my stuff at preetichhibber.com, and I am on social on like mostly Instagram and Blue Sky.
The name that Running with Scissors is the best. Okay.
It was my AIM screen name.
Yes, you are so smart. Like, I wish I had my stuff.
I know.
I just use it everywhere.
It's lame. It's just my Yahoo for junk mail.
I have it was my AIM screen name. I didn't know it was going to become my professional presence on the internet. It just did. But I was trying to sign up for Reddit the other day to like post about the Supernatural comic. And I was like, oh, I'll use my like Run with Scissors. And it was taken. And I was like, who? It was me 14 years ago. I logged in one time.
She's ready to fight herself.
I did. I logged in one time, posted a blog, and then never logged in again. And I was like, I don't even know what email this would be associated with.
I know. I remember. I do have my emails from when I was younger. I think like my AIM was young and aspiring after an Under Oath song, because never grew out of the emo phase, and I never will.
Why should you?
God,
I'm emo forever.
I am going to be emo kid forever. I always get Lauren. I'm trying to talk them into emo nights. I got My Chemical Romance tickets for this August.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've done 2 emo nights after cons.
That's right.
Them. So
that's
one
right.
was Star Wars themed, but yeah.
We did Mosh
that's
Isley.
awesome.
Yeah. Mosh Isley.
We ended up taking
cool.
Jackson Lansing to that, funny enough.
Nice.
That was kind of fun.
We had a great time, yeah.
Yeah, listen, emo nights are where I belong. So that's just
my lightsaber died though. I went to turn it on and it's like
that seems appropriate for emo night though.
It does. Yeah, you really had the best name. So everybody, it's going to be in the show notes if you seem to forget, but how could you forget such killer names? Make sure Supernatural fans, I know you guys are be flocking to this because first of all, anytime I go to my comic shops, Supernatural is always sold out no matter what one I go to. So I got to get to my shop ASAP early. The review will be out on nerdinitiative.com where Lauren and I are, over there doing killer reviews, but then just pick up any of Preeti's books, find her on socials, all of that good stuff. And we want to say thank you so much for getting to nerd out a bit with us about all the good stuff in life. Of
course. Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Thanks. Lauren, any final thoughts as we wrap it up?
Oh, I could have 75 million more thoughts whenever we have a Supernatural guest. It's hard to wrap it up. But maybe you'll have to come back one day and we can just geek out over Supernatural.
I'm always down.
Or when you get that Easter special.
I know. Yes, give me the Easter special.
Just need, zombie Jesus and Sam and Dean, but then it turns out to not actually be zombie Jesus somehow. So that would be the best. But yes, obviously we've got our Supernatural rewatch. So hopefully, come on back. Feel free to come through, and everybody else pick this up. Let us know your thoughts on it, and we will catch you guys next time. Cheers, everybody.